Hello everybody, I'm Yolanda, aka Creative Mommy of Two, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a little different today. I am going to do a beaded cross stitch or bead embroidery, however you want to call it. I got this one a little bit ago from New Craft Day. They contacted me and asked me if I wanted to try one out for them to review and to share with you all, and I said that I would love to because the concept of a beaded cross stitch was very appealing to me. So yeah, as you see, I have started a little bit. I unboxed this one a week and a half ago. I'm filming this on Monday, by the way, instead of my usual Tuesday. I'll tell you in a little bit why, but this is the set I want to start with today. So this is what I have done so far. I do love how it turns out. I still have a lot to go, but it goes actually pretty fast. I'm not working on it too terribly much. Let's see. This needs to be a little bit. It's a little bit outside of the view now, but I have these trays that also come from New Craft Day actually. I got them a little bit ago from my diamond pinning haul. But I thought these are perfect for this as well. So I'm going to get this one and this one. I have the rest of the colors over here, but yeah, many of these are for on top here, but yeah. So I'm going to show you how I work on this. I use a very long thread. My grandpa used to say, obviously in Dutch, een luie naaister werkt met lange draad. A lazy seamstress works with a long thread. I'm lazy, but yeah, I am. And I don't want to start threading a needle again every 5 seconds, especially since I fold them. So I get the points together. Take my needle. Well, do need to keep them together. Oh, come on. It's not that hard to thread a needle. I know I'm not entirely into view, but yeah. Otherwise, I don't see the eye of the needle. But yeah, I do it like this. Let's see if I can somewhat see. And then here I have a loop. In the end, on the bottom side of the fabric, I will poke this through with a bead on the upside, and then I have it ready to start. But yeah, that's how I work on it. You need to see how you would like to work on it. I ended up here. So I need the color 4 first. I do it like this. I'm going to stand up again to see if you even can see. Yes. So I'll put in a few beads over here. Put the bag with the colors, well, with the rest of the beads there. This one does have a few stowaways. That's why I do have a bag here, for in case there is a color in there that, yeah, has some stuff that I don't need. I'm going to put those over here for now, so I don't fuss. So I got through the canvas material from the bottom side. Put now a bead in and going back down again. Maybe you can see it like this. So I will pull it a little bit, go through the loop I created, pull it tight, and then my bead is on. Going to the next, I do need to make sure I pull it tight enough. For this color, I need color number 18. I looked around which colors are in this area, so that's why I know that it's there. So, some beads in there. Grab one on the needle, but now I'm just pulling it tight before I go to the other side. Like this. And I hold the thread on the bottom side with my fingers like this, so I can still keep it somewhat tight and I keep repeating everything. So I have the legend over here, so I see directly what I need to have. And now, since I go the other direction, the last few beads I did top right, bottom left. Now I'm bottom left, top right, to keep it moving. So we need number 4 again. That one jumped away, so it's going on the fabric right away. So yeah, I'm going to see if this is something for me to work on during a WIP and Chat. I hope I can keep it in frame somewhat. Let's see if I hold it here. No, it's not. I need to move over just a little bit. Hopefully it works. If not, please let me know. Also, if you say like you move around too much, no thank you, let me know. Then I know that I don't need to attempt this again. Because I personally work out of hand, not out of a hoop or anything, so it's not that I can keep it like really still. So yeah. But I thought let's just try and see how we get along with this for in a WIP and Chat. So yeah, with that all out of the way, how are you all doing? I hope you had a fantastic week. My week was actually kind of busy and eventful. Got a lot done. Still need to do a lot. Yeah, the kids now have vacation, so it's a lot more difficult to do a lot of stuff. Because, yeah, there are 2 kids moving around. And also my husband has a vacation. He got himself 4 weeks, so he had 2 weeks when the kids were still in school, so we could do some stuff in and around the house, even though not much came out of that, but okay. Come on. That's the only downfall. I can't see what I'm doing. But yeah, so my husband had 2 weeks when the kids were in school, and now the first 2 weeks when the kids also have a vacation, so we can do some fun stuff as a family. We are actually we're planning to go somewhere tomorrow. We're planning to go to the Drielandenpunt, the 3 country point that is here in the Netherlands. So that's the crossing point for the Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. And there's also like a park close by. So we do the 3 country point, Drielandenpunt. And then we're going to like a little park that's close by that should have a labyrinth. Some water stuff, since it should be, as far as I understood, like about 30-31 degrees Celsius tomorrow. So it's way too warm for me, but oh well. So we're thinking like that's something fun to do since there's water involved with the kids. So we're planning to go a little bit early, so that's not like the entire day too hot. But yeah, we'll see. It's close enough that if it's too warm, we can just go home. But we just wanted to see that, because we actually wanted to go to a zoo or something, but we're like 30 degrees. I think many of the animals will be indoors, because I don't think they are stupid enough to sit in the heat. Maybe some animals would like to, because they're actually like desert animals or something. But I also think plenty of them wouldn't. So now I have the next color. So these will be going in the bottom row here. And I will put them underneath the tray. Whoop. And do it like this. It's like the only downfall, I don't exactly constantly see what I'm doing. And my nails are a little bit long for this. But yeah, so last week the kids had their last week of school for this school year. Daughter will be going to, I think the American equivalent is first grade after summer. So yeah, we'll see how that will be going. Let's see, I need another color, 14. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully she does well. Our son will still be staying in kindergarten because, yeah, he just has 2 months of school because they go to school when they are 4. And then most of the times, like when they're about 6 or about 6, then they can go to like first grade. And I, yet again, need another color. I'm keeping moving it around a little bit, so. But I think like most of the colors, there's one I still need. That's like this one here, the yellow with the red line. But then I think I have all the colors, at least for now. Yeah, so as I said, like kids go to school when they are 4. The first 2 years, like the kindergarten, like classes, they are doing a lot more like play and learn. Let's see. Whoop. So it's more like play based. And then afterwards they are like full on learning. Obviously they still will be done in a fun way because the school that the kids are going to is actually pretty good with that. They do try to keep it entertaining for the kids. Because let's be honest, if something is fun, you remember much more of it. Or at least I do. But yeah, so it was a little bit bittersweet. Especially also for like the teachers. Especially the teacher my daughter had. Because she was also saying that they had like a Juf en Meesterdag, so like Teacher's Day. Let's see, which color do I need? 14. So they had like a little goodbye. But she said also to the students, she was like, yeah, normally it's a little bittersweet because normally I have a group and then for like half the group I need to say goodbye and the others I'm just like, well, see you next year because then they, yeah, will be in the class with her again. But this year they split it up because there were way too much, well, new kids coming into the classes because, yeah, as soon as they hit 4, you can put them in for school, which we did with our son. And yeah, they had just way too many join, so they were like, we're going to separate group 1, well, group 1 and group 2, so groep 1 and groep 2, so they can like focus also for the groep 2 kids on like building the group because, well, most of them will be going, yeah, to groep 3 all together, so like the first grade. Which means that it's also like important so that they are like a decent group together. And so this way also the teachers could like focus a bit better on like the smaller kids that are new. And this year they have 3 teachers. Next year they have just 2. One of the teachers will be teaching still in the same school, but she will be teaching like the, I believe, groep 6, which would be 4th grade, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, what is it, 9, 10-year-olds? This one. Yeah, so on Wednesday we did a cleaning of the classes. I signed up for it because it was like, it's not that they ask a lot of us as parents being. So I'm like, I can clean a little if I clean at school or if I clean at home. That's kind of the same. So yeah, it's not that I have much to do. And that way also my husband had a day off. Or at least a morning because it was a Wednesday. So it was like, yeah, that's fine by me if you want to join to help them. But yeah, we were a little bit short-handed because the only parents that signed up were the parents of classes that were in like my daughter's class, so the groep 2, the kids that are going from preschool, kindergarten, sorry, not preschool, kindergarten. So yeah, but we were with, I believe, 7 moms in total that signed up for helping clean. One of them didn't even have kids in that class anymore. But she was like, yeah, kids are like in the higher classes, so they don't need help, they can do it themselves. So she was like, well, if you need my help. And the teacher was like, yes, please. One of the classes, there was like nobody even signed up. For the other one, well, I am for both classes. So we ended up like deep cleaning the first class. That's my daughter's class. She had a little bit more to do because she wanted to reorganize a few things. So I have been removing stickers and labels from wooden boxes for like 1.5 to 2 hours. First it was when one other mom, at a certain point another one joined us because the part that she was assigned to, or that she was like, I'm going to do that, she joined us with that because her part was basically like getting the cabinets empty so they could be cleaned and stickers removed. And she also wanted to have like some of the plastic blocks in the washing machine. But yeah, it's not that you can like keep looking at it. So that doesn't speed it up, because I think that she would have done that. So she came and helped us with the stickers. After we done that, and we had a little break. So when we were like almost done with the classroom, me and I believe 2 of the other moms, we joined for the class my son goes into, and the others, well, one cleaned all the windows, so she basically did most of the 3 classes, their windows. One did like the inside windows, the other was the outside windows. I did first stickers at the class of my son. I did they have like a little kitchen cabinet where you also have like water and stuff, and they can rinse out of use a few things. So I cleaned that inside and out, and I did the chairs and tables. Which I do need to say they keep pretty clean. Oh, wrong way. But yeah, so I did that. Then after we were done with that class, I did like a little bit of a light dusting with a, not completely dusting, like wiping, that's the word I was looking for, with a wet cloth, because yeah, that was basically all we had time for. Because yeah, we're, as I said, like 7 people for like 4 classrooms, and they are a decent sized classroom. So yeah, that was fun to do. But I was totally done for the day after, well, in the afternoon, because yeah, I noticed that I'm not so socially active as I was before, so it eats a lot of my energy now. Noticing I'm becoming more and more of an introvert. Which is totally fine, because normally I am not that much of a social person. I actually wanted to sign myself up for like cutting fruits next school year, but I totally forgot to do. So I think I'm just, when the school year starts, we'll be going to the concierge like, hey, do you still need somebody? Because I totally forgot. I totally spaced out. I can do it on this day and this day. If so, well, let me know. If not, well, fine by me. Because yeah, I will do that one day. Because I am at home, but I also have stuff to do at home. So I'm not going to do that like every day. You can forget about that. Honestly, I don't do that. I want to help, but there are limits to my help. But yeah, so I need to ask that. Yes, I'm not going to answer that now because they also have a vacation. If they are not on a vacation and they are looking into the messages or anything, I'm just like, no, they want to have a vacation at least. So I'm not going to bother. If they hadn't at like the last day of the year, they will have still the same issue on the first day of the year. So yeah, I'm not going to fuss about it or anything. I'm just going to ask the teacher like, hey, do you need anybody? If so, that's fine. If not, that's also fine. Because I'm not going to do lunches because that's way too much fuss for me. I've done that once. It was fun, but at the same time it was like, no, too much fuss for me. I have something in my nails. That's better. But yeah, I'm now like, I do want to help more, but at the same time, I'm like, I also have a lot of stuff that I need to do at home. Also with like YouTube and stuff, I do still need to edit videos and everything. I try to do, well, I don't want to say I try to do the bare minimum, but I try to keep it as real as possible. I try to not edit anything out if I can help it. Because I want to keep it real and honest if I can. If I noticed from myself that I've said my kid's name or anything, well, that will be edited out because, yeah, that's something called privacy that I just don't want to do that. So, yeah. But for the rest, I try to keep it to a minimum. So most of the times it's like add in some pictures here and there or a few words or anything, especially when I do like the Dutch language stuff, even though I still need to do another one, but I keep forgetting to research and everything, and my brain is just a complete mess. So yeah, I'm sorry for everybody that does enjoy the Dutch videos. Yeah, brain. But do let me know if there's a certain topic you would like to hear more about so I can read it down. Because if there's somebody that says like, I want to hear about this or that, and I haven't done that, or I can elaborate with more, yeah, I'm going to try to do that as quick as possible, just for the fact that I don't want you to keep you waiting if you ask for something. And it is what basically everything. If you ask for a certain time lapse, for example, I'll try to do that one basically next, to keep that line as short as possible. But yeah, I can't promise a thing. Hey, I'm only human, so, well, almost forgot to put in the bead. But yeah, I'm trying here. I'm trying. It's something. But yeah, so cleaning went well in kids' school. The day after, they had their last day of school. Because, yeah, they had off on Friday. So on Thursday, did they do in the morning, I believe, just a regular day. And the afternoon, like all parents and grandparents were invited to come to the school. Or at least like the first two grades. And play games. So we did that. I got 2 different games for the kids. One my daughter wanted. So I was like, yeah, sure, if that's the one you want, fine by me. Because yeah, she's the one that needs to play it. So I played a bit of that game with her, and then like we were swamped with her classmates because they all wanted to play that game. So yeah, I was like, yeah, go ahead. I pop over to your brother's class, and probably Dad will be here in a little bit. And well, pretty soon the teacher of my son's class was like, well, we're going to like say goodbye to the interns. So it's their time to go on to the next school as well. And stuff like that. So I went to our daughter's class because they had like also like a little goodbye because the entire class went. 3 kids even go to a different school. One of the kids is going back to Germany because she is German. I believe one of her moms is German and the other is American, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so my daughter had a kid in her class that has 2 moms, which is totally fine. I spoke most with one of the moms, and she was a really fun mom, so yeah, why not? I don't care if somebody got a mom or 2 moms, 2 dads, like a mom and a bonus mom, or whatever the family situation, as long as the people take good care of their kids, I don't give a rat's behind how they are. And if they don't treat their kids right, well, it's also not entirely my place to say something about it, because basically I don't see the entire interaction, because some kids just need a tighter leash than others, to say it like that. And I also understand totally that sometimes as a parent, you just let your kids run, because otherwise you get entirely crazy. And if you have said that already 600 times, you're like, well, in Dutch you would say, wie niet horen wil, moet maar voelen. Who doesn't listen should feel. And yeah, then at a certain point you're like, yeah, well, just fend for yourself. So yeah, I have done that with my son when I waited for our daughter plenty of times. So I know that sometimes it looks like you're like letting your kids roam around endlessly without reprimanding them if necessary, but sometimes you just need to let kids be. You know your kids best. You know if the kid can handle that or not, and whatever. So yeah, I'm not going to say here more about how parenting should work, because as a parent, you know your kids best. And that doesn't care if it's like biological parents, adopted parents, bonus parents, or whatever situation else. You all know the kids you need to take care of best. So yeah, let's get out of that soapbox, please. But yeah, so as I said, like one kid is moving back to Germany. Another one, well, that's actually my daughter's best friend. So that's a little sad. I don't like that she needs to go. But yeah, they are going to move. They move like a few places over. It's not like too terribly much. But yeah, it's not a thing that is normal here for a parent to drive 20 minutes to drop the kids off. Obviously, there are still exceptions to the rule, but in general, if you need to drive your kid to school, it's like a 5-minute drive, if that, maybe 10, but not much after that. Yeah, that would be like a 20-minute drive, depending on how busy it is on the roads, so it might even be more. So yeah, they're just not going to do that. But yeah, they ended up buying a house like really unexpected. They were like looking around, because yeah, that's the mom I know best from the class. She said like they were like with a half eye looking around, And yeah, they found something that they were like looking for multiple times. It came in budget, and I believe she said they looked at the house on like Wednesday and they bought it on Friday. So it went pretty quick. So she was like, yeah, she needed to stress a little bit because yeah, it was like one more week for school and she needed to arrange new school for her daughter, and then after school's daycare and daycare for the little sister. And so she was a little bit stressed about that, which I can totally understand. But yeah, obviously I wish them the best because yeah, she was like my daughter's little friend like from day one. So I'm sad to see her go, but yeah, hopefully they can still meet up every now and then. They did meet up actually yesterday, but I will get to that in a little bit. And then also they had a little boy that is moving from one school to another, but I do believe he is going to a specific kind of special education. I'm not going into details with that because again, privacy. But yeah, he needs a little bit more, I don't want to say extra help, but he needs more like specialized schooling. Because, yeah, situations. Ooh, I yanked my thread out. Dang it. Now I need to see like this direction. Just going to make sure everything sits the way it's supposed to be. And then move it right along. And I do need to get a new thread in a little bit. So I'm saved. That's the downfall from not seeing what you're doing in the fabric on the bottom side. Sometimes you get stuck on the fabric and you just yank it out. Or well, no, thread, I believe. I mean, do you actually see like most of the things I'm doing here? Oh, pretty in frame actually. That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, so also like my daughter's teacher, they had then in the afternoon also like after the games, they had like the teachers saying goodbye to the teachers. So many of the kids had a little gift for the teachers. I gave them already the day in advance, but yeah, that's what the teacher said, because like even if they didn't have anything, she just wanted a hug of the kids. So she's like, yeah, that's just fine. I actually need to thank you and everything. So it was really sweet. But yeah, at a certain point she was like, if she had, I believe, like something like a smartwatch or something. But at a certain point she was like, huh, it registers like a training. My heart's beating so fast. And afterwards, just before we went to go outside, she also said like something about it. I was like, yeah, I can understand that. Like with days like these, every year again, you're like holding the emotions together. And she was like, yeah, not wanting to let it go, not yet. Because she also said it like with one of the kids, they had a little card in it. So the teacher was like, yeah, I'm not going to read it yet, because then I'm starting to cry and I'm not ready for that yet. So I will read that tonight. But also one of the kids had a personalized book. It was like, I'm going to miss you, miss, and then the name obviously. And I'm yanking the threads out again, so I'm going to fix it up again. Ooh, I do need to cut out a little bit. And then after I place this one, I'm just going to get a new thread. Come on. Come on, get through. That's better. But yeah, so that kid had a book That was called I'm Gonna Miss You, Miss, and then the name, which would be in Dutch Ik ga je missen, juf, then the name. Because juf, juffrouw is actually like the Dutch version of miss. And Mrs. would be mevrouw. But yeah, the thing for teachers is also like juf, the short version of juffrouw, so miss. And for the male teachers, it is meester, which is, I don't know if there's like a good translation for that. I'm going to look because I'm curious now, but I think best translation would actually be something like master or anything. I'm going to just quickly open up my laptop since I also just have it open. No, not YouTube. Google Translate. From Dutch to English, meester. Yeah, it says indeed master. Master, Lord, Maestro. Different versions of the words. So, yeah. Well, I almost fell flat on my face. So yeah, it's something in that direction. Here is the last color, so I'm just going to grab that one, and then I'm going to grab another thread. We have actually done quite a number of beads today. Whoa, stay put, stay put. And I'm not done rambling, so going to, this is how I tie them off. How you do that, that's all up to you, but this is how I do it. So I go to the back, then go underneath, most of the times like 3 or 4 like stitches in the back. You need to turn it around. So pull it through. Whoa, not too much, too much, too much. Gotcha. Almost got the thread out of my needle already, and I didn't. Then I go back over, but I skipped just 1. So I got 3 that way, 4 this way, and I'm going 3 that way. Pull it through, cut it off, and it's going nowhere. So I'm just going to get a new piece of thread. I do got a big spool of thread, so even if I fuzz up with threads somewhere, I'm not entirely sure if I will run out. I don't think so, but it's nice to have a little bit of extra. Because with this one, I'm just going like row per row. In the beginning, I did color per color, but I quickly found out that for me, it worked best to just work row by row. So I could see better like where each bead goes. Because yeah, at a certain point, they are trying to press each other away. Then it's just easier to just know where the colors are. Let's see, I'm going to start there, yeah. Because this way, for me at least, it's easier to just know, like, I have these, then I have these, then this, then that, and then go back that way, instead of like doing this color first and then needing to sort everything out. For me, that's a bigger fuss. But if you like to work on these bicolor, oh, that's the way you should do it then. Because yeah, I show you my way, but that's not the only way, and probably for sure, well, probably for sure, that doesn't sound normal. But that's also like not the only way, probably, I guess. So yeah, as with everything, you need to find a way that works for you. I only provide you with a way that works. And I don't say it's the only way, and I also don't say it's the best way. As long as you enjoy it, it doesn't matter much. But that's with every craft, I guess. Like, as long as you do like the general theme right, like place the beads on the correct color. If you swap out a color with something else, well, that's up to you. Make it your own. Do whatever you want. But yeah, general idea is place at least a bead on the place where you're supposed to. Oh, my thread didn't line up somewhere. But yeah, as I was saying, like the teacher did have sort of a hard time with like the last day, which I can imagine, because you get you get attached to the kids over the course of a year, because they do a lot together. Because yeah, they have quite a lot of time together, so yeah. But yeah, they're still not gone from school yet, so yeah, we did wave off the, what is it, like 6th graders, I believe. Yeah, 6th grade, because you start counting at what we would call groep 3, so what would be groep 8 would be 6th grade. So yeah, they are going to the next school, because yeah, the basisschool, so like I guess elementary would be the best equivalent of it, goes to the 6th grade. Come on, work with me. So that's also a way like poke the needle in the tray to grab a thread of a bead. But yeah, I have a little bit more difficulty with it. But yeah, so all the kids needed to go outside at a certain point. Thankfully the weather was good enough. It wasn't like raining cats and dogs. And yeah, they all made an arch like the entire school, and then the 6th graders walked underneath it. Obviously the smallest kids were just stood against each other and just hold their hands up. That was fun, but they zoomed right past. They went flying. They were in a hurry to go off to vacation and go to the next school. That much was apparent. But yeah, it was fun. Our son was at a certain point, especially with like going outside for like the saying goodbye to the 6th graders, he was like done with it. I think it was a little beforehand all that my husband and I both were for a little bit at the class of our daughter, and our son's teacher came with him. Like he was a little bit out of it and a little bit sad and so stuff. And yeah, it was a little bit much for him apparently. But we are starting to see that he gets kind of overwhelmed at certain points. That some things get just at a certain point become too much, and then he gets fussy and whiny, and yeah, we're trying to like not overdo it, but at a certain point like still stretch a little bit. But yeah, so it's looking at how that goes, because yeah. But yeah, I noticed that I was like, again, like totally socialed out after that, because I was entirely like, done for the day. Still let my time-lapse time and painting go, so that made me happy. I had made a big progress on it. I'm now at the point where I can edit the 4th time-lapse. It's quite a lot of work, but yeah, I like it. Because I do need to speed it up 2 times, then I need to put the music inside and my little like watermark and everything. So yeah, it does take a lot of time, but I really like it. And also like the editing for like the speeding up part. I do need to render that like twice. So I need to speed it up, render it, speed it up again, render it again, put music and everything on it, the intro, outro and everything, and then render it again, and then upload it once I get to the point that I can upload it. So yeah, it takes a lot of time, but I like it. I also have the idea that those are like the best watched videos on my channel, so that's why I'm doing it. So yeah, in case this is your first video of me, well, yeah, hi. If you haven't heard by now, I'm not a native English speaker. English isn't my first language. I'm Dutch, in case you haven't guessed that by now. And yeah, now I am doing beaded cross stitch, but most of the times I do diamond pinning. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing more of that, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you. I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas in the comment section below the video. If you want to help out with like ideas for future videos, you're always welcome to give them up. I'm going to try to do them. I have a video that I'm planning on for like 2 years already, but it never works out. So yeah, I'm trying, but I can't promise a thing. But yeah, so let's start moving to the next day of the week, because on Friday I had a bad day. Oh, it was terrible. I hated that day. I was already feeling a little bit sick like the entire week last week. I felt like I was starting to get a cold. And yeah, my throat was hurting. My nose kept like a little bit blocking, but not enough. And on Friday I was feeling bad. I woke up and my throat hurt, but that's most of the times when I'm getting a cold, like my throat hurts in the morning and then after that it's feeling fine. This time not so much. This time I felt, well, my throat was okay, but I had a headache. Oh, terrible headache. Oh, it was not normal. I got paracetamol and Advil at the same time. Normally that works, but no. I had a pressure like in my entire front of my head, so I was like, is this something like a sinus infection or anything? Oh, it was terrible. I couldn't stand up at certain points. As soon as I stood up, because I spent the day in bed, because yeah, especially like higher pitched voice noises or sudden noises, they at times were pretty bad. And yeah, I have, in case you haven't guessed it by now, 2 kids that are 4 and 6 years old. Yeah, they make a lot of noise, obviously. Thankfully, my husband was at home, so I could do that. Otherwise, I needed to call him to see if he would be able to come back home. But yeah, that's always something. But yeah, at certain points, I couldn't even stand up or anything, because then pressure in my head was so much. Thankfully, as long as I stood focused on like one thing, I could at least do something. So I did a little bit of diamond painting throughout the day. I did a little bit of reading and everything. And yeah, so at least I did something, but oh boy, it did not feel good at all. It didn't feel great. So yeah, I was really happy that when I woke up at Saturday, that yeah, I still had a little bit of a headache, but it thankfully wasn't as bad anymore. So yeah, thankfully I felt a lot better. We also did need to buy a few things. So we needed to go to the city center We also had a festival going around. It was the World Festival Parade Brunsum edition 2024. Because that's been going on since, I believe I saw the 1950s. And as far as I heard yesterday, it should apparently be one like big festival and then one or two small ones, then one big one again. So this one apparently is one of the smaller versions. But yeah, it was fun. There were like, I believe, 13 groups. We sadly joined in the festival at the point where the like a local music group was on, like a, what's the word, like not a drum band, but something close to the fanfare, harmony, however you want to call it. Orchestra, not like an entire orchestra, but something like it. The small version. So we're like, yeah, we can hear those plenty of times. So yeah, we ended up not staying too long. We looked around a little bit. But yeah, it was quite busy in the places there where they had something to do, but they had like workshops, they had performances, they had face painting for kids and balloon art, and making dream catchers was at that point, but it was so terribly busy. And the kids are also like a little bit too small for that, so we're like, yeah, we're not going to do that. But yeah, we walked around, it was fun. It was stormy, so the weather was not too kind to people, but yeah, we ended up on Sunday going to the parade. Well, the parade. De parade optocht. And optocht basically means parade. So I called it a parade. But yes, it was fun. We were standing at a spot. Some groups were dancing there, some not so much, because it was basically a parade to our like city center. They started at a certain, like at the festival terrain, and they ended there. When they ended, they did like a little small performance for like the audience that was there. And yeah, a lot of people were en route and they did like small dances, but we were just in a point where most of the groups had like their performance area, let's call it like that, like where they needed to wait, because yeah, they needed to wait quite a lot of times. But yeah, then there was a little dance, then they moved along a little bit, like playing music and smiling and waving. Kids both got quite a lot of high fives. They charmed their socks off. Daughter was very, very lucky because her little friend from school, the one that's moving, actually was together with her mom there. And they actually stood across the road from us, and we were just at a crossing point. So we were very lucky. So they, at least the daughter, popped over. So she stood with us because the mom lived actually like 2 or 3 streets from there, and they parked the car at like their former neighbors, as far as I understood, or at least in front of their house. Oh, I'm seriously moving out of screen constantly. So sorry for that. If you heard that banging noise, that was Lucia jumping off the scratching post. But yeah, so she was catching up with like her former neighbors. And we're like, yeah, she could see her daughter from across the street. And yeah, well, she knows us by now. So we're like, it's all perfectly fine. So yeah, our daughter had her little friend with her, and they were like reading all the signs from the countries that joined, because they all had like a little, they had somebody from the scouts walking in front of them with like the nameplate of the country. Sometimes they had somebody with the flag as well and everything, or like a banner of like the parade itself. And there many times like the interpreters and other people joined, and it was fun. Sadly, as I said, we didn't see too much of the dances, but like the outfits were amazing, and many times the people were like really sweet and fun. And what I do know, one of the girls, I believe that was from North Macedonia, but I don't quote me. I have seen a lot of countries pass by. But yeah, one of them was like, he stood still right in front of us, so she was waving at my daughter like, come here. So probably like, hey, you can take a picture or like do something, but she wasn't having it at that point. At a certain point, it got a bit much for her son, so we carried him for a little bit, stood there with him on the arms. Then I believe, Taiwanese group, they had like one of these dancing dragons, I'm going to call them. I don't know if there's a specific name for them. If you know, please let me know. I'm sorry, I do like cultures, but I'm not too cultured in like those types. Sorry, my drill beats fell off the floor. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure like how like these things are called. Again, like many times, I do know the words in Dutch, but don't in English. Also, for some things, it's the other way around, where I do know the Dutch version of the English version, but not the Dutch. So that's always fun. But yeah, so I was like trying to say to my daughter and her friends and also her son, like, this is this country, this is that country, that's a country that's in Europe, that's a country that's in South America or Africa, and like a bit like saying where they're from, like how and what in the beginning. I do know that my daughter was asking like, hey, why do they have these like fun and colorful dresses, and why do they have these pointy shoes and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah, that's how they traditionally wore their clothes, like many times like longer ago, because let's be honest, in many places like the traditional clothes aren't the clothes that many people use nowadays. But so we're like, yeah, so that's the reason why. And also the Netherlands joined, so I could like say her like, yeah, these stereotypical clocks were there. I was like, yeah, we're not walking on clocks now, do we? And she was like, yeah, no. So I was like, yeah, but that's how many people walked like years ago. So yeah, it's part of our culture that many people wore clocks in the early days. And explained a little to that, and she was like, oh, okay. And yeah, it was really fun. I do need to say, I have been looking at like the television program format. They actually told a little bit more information about the groups. I will try my best to remember to link it in case you're interested to see that, because it was a really fun thing to see. And as far as I saw the like television show of it, they jumped around a bit between the live performances and like the parade. So many times they showed like the schutterij, harmonie, like music band groups beforehand, like the local groups. Like schutterij is like a little former part of like army groups, I can better say, like way back, like the little army groups they had, like defending their cities and stuff. Many times that's the origin of many of the what we would now call schutterijen. De schut, basically a little bit like shootery, I think is the best translation. I'm going to call my friend Google Translate again and just see what they say. Google Translate schutterij. Militia, does it says here, civic guard, national guard. So that's a little bit like the kind of people you need to think about. Yeah, so they showed then a part of that, and then the group after that, and then you would see the performance of that group / country. And yeah, I personally thought it was fun. I have looked at a few of the performances now. As I said, I will try to remember to look it up on YouTube itself, because I saw it on like our local news place. But I did see that it was, as I saw correctly, it should be also on YouTube. So I'm going to try to remember to look it up and put the link there. So probably you will be able to see like an automated English translation. Because yeah, it's an international event. It was like, I believe, as I said, like 13 countries that joined. So yeah, it's a fun thing for others to see as well. But yeah, so I thought it was fun. Countries that joined, for example, were Mexico, as I said, North Macedonia. I've seen Kenya, Ghana, Venezuela, United States actually. But that's the performance that I saw like a big part of. What they said about that group was that it actually is a family. It was a mom and dad. The daughters were the one that's performing like in the parade and like the small thing, but normally they do as well. I do need to say, needed to laugh with my daughter about the group from, where were they from? I believe those were yeah, that was Mexico. My daughter was saying like, they look like Indians. I was like, it's a little bit like, not entirely the political correct term, but for a 6-year-old kid, I'm going to let that slide. I'm like, yeah, I don't know the best way to translate it to Dutch either. So I was like, yeah, Indians isn't a correct term, but I think many would excuse a kid of her age about that. When she is a little bit older, she will learn the correct ways about it and stuff. But yeah, they were, no, she was saying that they looked like the cowboys because he had like a big hat. They like looked a little bit like a cowboy hat, and like pants with like the frills on the side and stuff like that. So it looked like a little bit of a rodeo outfit. But then from America, the dad, he had like the big like, I'm going to call it a headdress because I'm not entirely sure how it's called in English. We call it een hoofdtooi in Dutch. But he had like the ones with like the feathers and everything. So my daughter was like, yeah, he really looks like an Indian. I was like, probably sorta is. Because he looks like the chief of a tribe. But yeah, afterwards I then found out that he was the dad of the family. But yeah, the daughters were in like their own outfits for like the entire dancing, and they were obvious like Native Americans. I don't know if they had like inspired their outfits on their own heritage or if they did on like general Native Americans from like different tribes or anything, or if it was just like a general, or that I don't know. I don't know where they said like, I believe they said they were from Idaho from origins, but they live now somewhere else, but I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. If I haven't linked the video in the description box below, please, if you want to see it, let me know and I will link it as well, and I will link it down in the comment sections as well. Or I will link it in the comment section in case I can't link it in the description box, but yeah. But yeah, so they were all like, they had like, I believe that the reporter said that like the mom and dad had like 11 kids, but there were just 4 of them that joined parade. But yeah, I loved the outfits. They were like really colorful and fun, and yeah, it looks amazing. But we also were groups from, I believe, Bulgaria, and yeah, there were a lot. Some were closer to home and some were a lot farther away. As I said, like Venezuela, Mexico, the States, Taiwan was one of them, so Asia was also there. So yeah, it was fun. I believe the group from Ghana, I believe it was Ghana or Kenya, I'm not entirely sure, but one of those, they had like, yeah, traditional clothes, music and everything, or at least parts of it, because yeah, many times they had like regular quote unquote shoes underneath, but I can understand that if you normally would just go barefoot, that it's not very comfortable to walk on asphalt barefoot, because yeah, not fun. Thankfully for them, the weather was okay. Maybe for the ones that are accustomed to warm weather, it was too cold, but I can understand that performing in weather like what they expect to be like tomorrow, like 30 degrees Celsius, that is not too much fun, because many of the countries had pretty thick garments on. But yeah, so as I was saying, like the group from, I believe they were then Ghana, like one of the performers was a mom. That was obvious when she walked by, and she was the last one in her group, so you easily look at the back of people when it's the last one. And she had her child in like a child's swing wrap, I think more like a wrap thing, on her back, and the child was sweetly sleeping on her back. I was like, oh, that's obvious. They do that more often. But it was cute. As I said, like at a certain point, our son was like, yeah, I'm done with it. So he wasn't really too extremely happy to be there anymore. But then the group of Taiwan came, and they had an, as I said, like the dragon, the dancing dragon. I believe it was just two people underneath, so it wasn't like the really long dragons that you many times also see like with the Lunar New Year and stuff. Let's see if I went to the right place. Yes, I did. Yeah, so I told my son, like, hey, there's a dragon on the floor there. Because he was, at that point, he was with me, and he was like, oh, I want to see. So I looked at it, and it was fun. And walking by, they each got what I think is like one of those kids' temporary tattoos with the flag of Taiwan on it. So the kids both like that. So yeah, the kids had a blast, even though they didn't see a lot of the dances and stuff. They still had a good time, thankfully. I also did. I always love music and dance, and I personally did for, I think, 1.5 years, I did Latin and ballroom dancing. I really loved it, but yeah, money was a factor with that, and I do need to say, like, ballroom dancing is pretty expensive. So yeah, that did not last too long, sadly. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted. But I always liked music and dance and stuff. I have played flute for 2 years, and then afterwards in school, like again and stuff. And I had like a fancy one from the brand Yamaha. And yeah, everything after that, I played trumpet for 2 or 3 years, I believe. Then with school, it was just not combinable for me anymore. And it isn't that I was that I was really good anyway. I'm honest enough that I know that I was bad. Well, those two were stuck together, but they came loose. But yeah, I was always like a little bit too fast. So I was ahead. So that's not easy when you play in a group or anything. But yeah, I have always liked music. As I said, like, I'm never good at it, but that's basically my motto the last like few years. if I can do it, you can do it better. So like literally the opposite of what they normally do. Like what I can do, you can do better. What you can do, I can do better. No, what I can do, you can do better. But hey, as long as I have fun while doing that, I don't mind falling on my face a few times. Because yeah, obviously it's fun when I'm like sort of good at something, obviously. Because yeah, I don't like to fail, but yeah, I come to terms with the fact that I fail at quite a lot of things that I do. Yeah, that's okay. I'm fine with it, as I said. I have my skills. Don't know what they are, but I'm a jack of all trades. I'm good at something. A lot of things have instead of in one thing really good. But hey, at least I know a little bit of everything, so I can do quite a lot. Maybe not perfect, but I can do it. Yeah, for the rest, on Saturday I still did like when we were in like our, well, I want to call it a city, but it's more like a village, but it's decent in size. So yeah, that's also why we can do the events like parade and anything. Also, it does help that we have NATO here. So yeah, we are also like a very diverse bunch here in Brunsum. So in case you were at parade, and especially when you were a performer, thank you for entertaining everybody. I hope you enjoyed your time here. I enjoyed the little bit I saw of it. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And like all the performers were really sweet, like a lot of them, as soon as they spotted our kids, like in front of the gate that they had standing there, they were smiling and waving. And obviously when they were doing like a little dance, they couldn't, well, one, they had like a, sort of like a line of dances. It was, I believe, Bulgaria, but I'm not entirely sure. So the ones in the middle were all holding two hands, and the ones at the end, just one. And one of the guys that was either in the beginning or the end of the line steered the line so that they could go next to their kids and high-fived all three of the kids. So yeah, obviously my two kids and the friend of our daughter that was standing with us. So they high-fived them, and everybody around us was like oohing and eyeing because they did that, and it was like, I was laughing. It was so much fun, and the kids both were like, well, all three of them were like looking with a big smile on their face and everything. Like the mom was standing on the other side of the street, saying like at a certain point, like pointing at her daughter and mine, like standing there with an enormously big smile on their faces and having the time of their lives. There was also like, I believe the group was Steam Roadsters. I have seen them come by on Facebook or YouTube lately. That was so amazing to see. They had like a steampunk meets futuristic meets Victorian, like machinery, and it was so amazing to see. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think you can already hear that by my excitement, but yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, when we were there on Saturday to look around, I also did do a little something. One of you, I will not be calling out names, but you know who you are, Miss Anya Luna. Yes, I know that's not your real name, but I'm not sure if you want to have your real name out of here. But so I'm just going to call you with your YouTube name. So I'm still naming you, but you had the same thoughts I was thinking. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. You convinced me to do it. It was about my next year's purchase, like breaking my no-buy. I have put them in my list of like YouTube purchases, and well, I don't want to call them winnings, but like my income, let's call it like that. It's like a few cents a month, but like when I get paid by YouTube, that little bit I get, I have put it in a like quote unquote logbook, so I know like a little bit of like how and what, and if there's a certain like rhythm in it, so I can just see what to expect a little bit. But yeah, I also put everything I spent for YouTube on there, so I put it in there for my spendings of this year. But as you should greatly put out, it's like preparing for a future project for next year. And yeah, I need to have a bleep load of stuff for that. I will be sharing what I plan to do closer to the new year, so probably like November or something, I think. At least as long as my idea stays there. My cat is playing in the background with a little fabric mouse, so you can hear her in the background scooting around the floor. But that's Lucia that is playing with her mouse. It's one of the mouses from the brand Whiskas. Both of the cats love those mice. We have a few of the purple pink kind of colored ones and one of the gray ones. Well, but the purple pink ones, like the actual like Whiskas brand colors, they love them. They fly through the house like numerous occasions. But yeah. As I was saying, like, so I made the purchase for next year because yeah, I think as soon as you know what I'm planning, that you would probably agree with me starting to collect some things here and there. Because yeah, if I need to grab everything then, I think it will be kind of pricey. Thankfully, it's like a year-long project / challenge, so I do not need to have everything at the start, but it's nice to have like made a start at least. But yeah, so I did that. I obviously will not be sharing what I have gotten for the near future at least. But yeah, I'm going to do these last few beads, then I'm going to tie it off, and then I'm going to call it quits for today because I'm filming for long enough. My voice is starting to act up. I'm also already past an hour mark, so yeah, that went quite easy today. But yeah, it was quite an entertaining and busy week, so that's what you get. As I said, like tomorrow, we're planning to go to the 3 country points. Depending on how busy it is, I might take some pictures and add them in, as long as the kids are not too close by, because yeah, they don't need to stand in the picture I share with you guys. But yeah, it's playing tourist in your own country. We hope that's maybe Sunday or otherwise next week we can go to a zoo that's somewhat close by. We have like one of the better ones close by, but we've been there the past few years with the kids. And we want to try to see if we can do like trips that are a little bit longer, so that we can start to go like the bigger and more known places and areas, so we can just slowly build like how far we can go, because as soon as the kids get like overly stimulated, you get close, they sometimes start to get fussy and everything, and we want to try to stretch how much they can handle without going past their breaking point. So we're not going to like, I don't know, like the other side of the country, which is like 3-4 hours drive. I know for many people that's like almost going to the neighbors. But for us, that's a pretty big drive, because let's be honest, the Netherlands is small. Everything is close by really soon. So yeah, if you need to drive more than an hour, that's pretty far for our doing at least. Yeah, so we did quite a big piece. I believe we were like started like around here somewhere. We did a nice amount. Obviously, normally it goes a little bit faster because I don't need to stop every now and then because I'm needing to think and collect my thoughts and everything. Yeah, as for now, at least I like how it's turning out. So I'm really curious to see sort of the point like when I get to the flower here. Because I plan to do like this part up, like keep it like around here. So I could like this and do here. And then start on the bottom here and go up and do like the big rose. And then the 2 butterflies. So that's at least my current planning. We'll see how everything turns out. But that's what I'm planning on doing. But yeah, let me know, how are you all doing? Like, what have you been up to this week? Do you have any fun plans? If you have kids, do they have summer vacation already? Or do you have a summer vacation for yourself? And yeah, what is your planning? Do you have like fun summer plans if you have a vacation or not? You can also have fun weekend plans. Or in case you work in the weekend, like somewhere during the days, but you get what I mean. But yeah, let me know. I just want to know everything. I would love to know like how you spent your summers. Like, I don't know where you all from. I do know I have a lot of people that follow me like all over the place. So I don't know what's the weather like where you are at. Like here it's really up and down lately because we had days like 2 weeks ago where it hit like 30 degrees Celsius. And the past couple of days it was like 13, 14. Tomorrow it should apparently be 31 again. So yeah, it's like in the morning you stand in front of your wardrobe like, what do I need to wear? Do I need to wear something with long sleeve, short sleeves? Can I get away with a dress? Do I need to wear pants? Yeah, it's not that easy to decide at the moment. But oh well. But yeah, I think I'm going to do a little bit more on this one. I really enjoyed doing this. Let me know, would you like to see more of this one? If so, let me know. If not, also let me know so I know what your opinion on it is. And yeah, I think someone wants her food again. Yeah, Lucia, I'm talking about you. You shouldn't start fussing on food like half an hour to an hour early. Yeah, she's my food obsessed cat. She wants her food like 1 or 2 hours in advance when she actually gets it. Thankfully, she isn't fussing every 5 seconds. So when she noticed that somebody is planning to stand up, she starts fussing. When we're in the kitchen, she starts fussing and everything like that. But she's not constantly fussing, so thankfully. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at this. The video is long enough as is, because we're almost at 1.5 hours. So yeah, it's time for me to stop rambling. Let you get on with your day or your night, whatever applies. And yeah, so I hope you liked this video. If you did, well, you know the drill. Like the video so YouTube will share my videos with other people. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here in my little corner of YouTube. And yeah, as always, I hope you will have an amazing rest of your day, night, week, whatever all applies. And I hope to see you in a next video. Bye!